and do not reflect the opinions of In Touch Radio or its staff.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. It's Let's Talk Business with Cheryl J. Couso, and it is the first hour of our show. My co-host, Mr. Derrick Blue, the CEO of the THAP Group, and we are so fortunate to have with us today a special guest who is also a member of the THAP Group. We'll hear about her in just a little bit. Just want to take this opportunity to say to our In Touch family, our Facebook family, YouTubers, we appreciate your taking the time out from your busy schedule to catch the show weekly. This particular show, it's Catch the Show that's going to be all up in your blueprint business. Today's blueprint is going to be about one of the THAP Group's signature events. That's us. And thank you so much for catching our show and taking your lunch break with us. A lot is going on. We'd like to say that we are out of the pandemic, or it's a post-COVID pandemic, but that's not the case. We are still here, but we are developing a new sense of norm. And in that, we are still able to kind of connect with one another as long as we are social distancing, wearing our masks. So very, very important. We have had our experts to come on the show to share just how important that is. And we will continue to do so because life is precious. And so at this opportunity, let's get into what this blueprint is all about. So my special guest today is none other than Ms. Ingrid Daniels-Young. Ms. Daniels-Young is a graduate of Hillsborough Community College with an AA degree in paralegal studies. She is also an ordained and licensed minister. Girl, you can help us out doing mental health. Ms. Daniels-Young is the president of the board of directors for Black Women Business Owners, Executives, and Entrepreneurs, Inc., better known as BWBOEE. As of January 2021, Ms. Daniels-Young was appointed to the Tampa Hillsborough Action Plan, Inc., as we will always reference the THAP Group Board of Directors. Congratulations, Ms. Daniels-Young.
Thank you.
Additionally, she has been recognized as a member in the community by the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, the Tampa Bay chapter. She has served as a member of the MLK Junior Gala and Scholarship Committee, which I am proud to say she served with me for 2 years, and we were able to bring thousands of dollars into the MLK Scholarship Parade Foundation Fund. She is an event organizer extraordinaire. She did so for a Second Wish by Demetrius Inc. She actually kicked off the launch of that nonprofit. She is a current member of the Minority Enterprise Development Corp, as we call MedCorp. She serves on the planning committee. She is the executive director for the Power of 31, just coming off of August, which was National Black Business Month. And you know the saying, 31 ways, 31 days, spend 31 plus dollars your way with a Black-owned business. Yes, she has been involved with that foundation from the very beginning. She has also managed 2 local candidate political campaigns for circuit court judge and Florida State representative. So to my radio listening YouTubers, social media platform, Facebookers, welcome to Let's Talk Business, Ms. Ingrid Daniels-Young.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Cheryl. And thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today you're more than a colleague, but certainly also my sister friend. And I thank God for that connection, most certainly, that we've had and the opportunity to have worked with you for so many years. So thank you for having me today on behalf of the THAP Group Board of Directors and then the Black Wall Street Experience.
Thank you, Ingrid. And there's a lot going on. What's exciting for me today is to be a part of the movement where we are still recognizing the Black-owned businesses in our community and small businesses in general. I mean, coming up real soon, it'll be National Women's Business Month. And there's so much we have to celebrate, not in the traditional format, but people are becoming creative and trying to decide how can we continue to help our small businesses. But let me back up a second. You're no stranger to Let's Talk Business. You've been on the show actually from our very beginning. So thank you for always being one of those individuals because of your busyness and your involvement on multiple levels. We always get to have you come back and share with us as a guest for whatever you are involved in, because one thing is for sure, that involvement helps us to move community, business, genders, women agendas aggressively forward. So that being said, first, tell us a little bit about BWBOEE. And how did you get involved with that organization?
Well, BWBOEE, Black Women Business Owners, Executives and Entrepreneurs, very, very long, I know, but it's a great professional women's organization, not just for Black women, not just for women, as it is at this point. The organization was started in 2004 by Miss Janie Sherry Brooks and or Miss Janie Brooks Sherry,
Yeah.
and who was the former collaborator for that, along with her daughter, Miss Janet Brooks, who is now our co-founder and who has carried the organization forward. And basically, we are an organization of professionals helping each other, assisting each other, connecting people in business. And so we're not a social group, so we don't do a lot of social events and what have you, but we do try to train and give information. And like I said, just bring people together in a room. Even the event, the small event we just had, which was a coffee and conversation, a collaboration was made right there at the table with just a few of us that was there. And that's one of the biggest things about BWBOEE. And I became part of the organization many years ago, and I really don't know how long it's been, just in the background trying to help, trying to do what I can to bring things together, to help bring things together. And so as a result, I continued to work with the organization. And then eventually I was promoted, I'd say, to be president of the board, which I'm excited to be that position and just to be a part of the organization, period.
Absolutely. And I'm no stranger to BWBOEE. I've been involved for over a decade and a half. And it is very, very important. And I like the fact that you mentioned one of our events just this, 2 Saturdays ago, we were at the Brick in Ybor City. And I'm not sure if you were familiar, but we were walking out, all of these businesswomen sharing their experiences. We were able to talk about what the struggle has been like as a result of the pandemic and how are the businesses surviving, even as we're still in what we thought was the post-pandemic. And I know we stepped out to go and take a signature picture, but there was a young man that had been watching us, and he said, "Who is that group of Black women over there?" And decided to come over and spoke to one of our board members, Rolanda McDuffie. And he saw her passing out bags, but what he didn't know was in the bags was her first edition of her book. And so as BWBOEE members, we were there to support her. Many of us had ordered multiple copies of the book, and that's where we did the exchange. But this young man was so excited that he wanted to learn more about who we were and what we were doing. And I love that, just people receiving that powerful impact from just our presence. and wanting to know who we are and what we were about. And then as a result of that, we were able to go and support their arts and craft event in the same venue. And that was phenomenal. So when
Absolutely.
people hear us talk about BWBOEE, when we do come together, it's powerful. And as a result of it,
Absolutely.
business connections are made, some that we have already developed from that week down the road. And that's what I like about my involvement with BWBOEE. And we're always looking for other entrepreneurs, women and men, because we do
Mhm.
have men in our organization to come and
That's
join us. Anything else you'd like to share with us about BWBOEE before we go into your real reason for being here today?
I would just say visit us at bwboee.org or follow us on Facebook at Black Women Business Owners, Executives and Entrepreneurs. You won't even have to type in the whole name. It'll come up after after a few words. I promise it'll pop right up. But just visit us and see what we've got going on. Just say hello to us or maybe provide some information. There's something you've got going on that you'd like to be advertised, and perhaps we can help you out with that in our monthly mail out. And or if you're interested in, of course, membership, then please, by all means, visit us at bwboee.org, and you'll be able to get some information on membership and and just check in with us and see what we've got going on. Thank you.
I like that, check in. So you've been given the opportunity, you've been given a personal invite to check in and find out more about this phenomenal organization of women and men with an emphasis on how are you? How's your business? And what can we do to support your business?
Absolutely.
So Ms. Young, let's pivot a little bit to this newly appointed boardship that you have. And as a result of your joining the THAP Group Board of Directors in the earlier part of 2021, what has that been like? How did you get to that point? And what are you involved in with the THAP Group?
Well, thank you. And again, I started with the board of directors here with THAP in January of 2021. And initially, I was interested in the board simply because I've worked in the background, I would say, with working with Cheryl, of course, with you in various projects and events and such at THAP. And also, I'm a part of the DSI Black Pages. So we have worked in conjunction with THAP and partnered with them. So I've been around the THAP group organization for a number of years and been able to kind of from a distance, I'd say, watch what they're doing and what's going on with them. And so then I began, of course, when you're curious about a thing, of course, you check into it. And so as I looked into this THAP group and Derrick, the CEO, Derrick Blue, and just checking out some things I could appreciate the mission of THAP, with their community and programs that they have that they're a part of and that they facilitate, helping those that in housing and weatherization. That program is a great program. Their health programs that they're involved in, their small business incubator and all that they're involved in. So I was very interested in those things. And as Cheryl knows, I'm a worker. And I also have a servant's heart. And so I always want to be involved in something that's helping people and helping the community as a whole to build and to build them up and things that would just help us in general, because I am a proponent of when we all come up, we all come up. And so, and so keeping that in mind, that's when I looked into the THAP board to see if they were interested or needed or were getting to a point of renewing their board or anything like that, just in an effort to help and see what I could do. So that's how it came about. And I've just been working ever since. I came in working, ready to work. And not to be too pushy, because I've been known to be called that and bossy and whatnot. And I won't back down from that. I probably am those things. So,
Yeah, you are.
but I'm a worker though. And I don't believe in half working. So so it's been a great experience to be a part of this board. There are phenomenal people that
Yes.
are a part of this board. And so it's great learning how to work with them and working beside each of them, learning what everyone does, what their strengths are, and even what their weaknesses are, so that I could help, when you're weaker in one point and I may not be, then I push harder in that area, and then vice versa. And that's how we pull together again, so that when we all come up, we all come up.
I love that. When we all come up, we all come up. That means
Absolutely.
no person left behind.
Indeed.
Now, Ingrid, I'm going to jog your memory for just a little bit, because we've already made it fully transparent that you and I are beyond, we're just sisters from different mothers.
Right.
But that being said, we have a strong work ethic and have just been blessed with the gift of help and service. So I'm going to take you back to 2013. And to see, this is the blueprint for the THAP group. So Mr. Derrick Blue, this is when you met Ingrid Daniels Young in actually it was 2012, but in 2013, you came with my group and we put on the first THAP gala.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that at the
I do.
CPEP? And what an event it was.
Absolutely.
It was their inaugural gala. We had 250 guests that joined us with a silent auction to boot. It was phenomenal. But to be able to have you there as my right hand and allowed us to be able to put on an exceptional event. So now fast forward from 2012, you were there also when we did the Our Place, Your Space campaign with the THAP group. Now, here you are as a member of the board of directors. I am so proud of you and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that support, most definitely. Thank you.
It just goes to show you, sometimes if you're there and you're volunteering and you're supporting what's an organization that you happen to looked at and said, I like what they're all about. I believe in their mission. What can I do, or how can I serve this organization? And today, not only are you a newly appointed board member of the THAP group, you have been given a phenomenal charge with one of their signature events. So tell us about the Black Wall Street experience.
Yes. Don't know how I became, but I'm thankful. And I'm thankful that this project has been entrusted to me. And again, I am a worker, and I believe in things that help build our community and help build people in general. And so I accepted that call or challenge or whatever it may be. and I appreciate people like yourself, Cheryl, who have worked with me to help me. Frank Crum is also one that's been working so diligently. And we have a absolutely phenomenal team that is working with this Black Wall Street experience. And a lot of them are younger people. So I am, and that's been a little bit different. But I'm glad to be working with them. I've learned so many things from some of them. And so it's been phenomenal working with them. And this team is just great. And now I was a part of the first Black Wall Street experience that was started with Derrick Blue and the THAP group. And at that juncture, that was pre-COVID. Now we have to say pre and post-COVID now. So that was pre-COVID in 2019. But at that time, I was in the background working with Cheryl and with THAP in whatever capacities were needed. And that's one thing I'm glad about myself. I don't need to be in the front. I don't need to have everybody know what I've done. They just need to know that it's done. And then we move forward from there. You don't ever have to mention my name or know my name but I'm going to be there to do the work. So I appreciate the opportunity to do that. And I appreciate the people who entrust assignments to me. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Well, listen, Miss Young, you can say all of that other good stuff. And I have the pleasure and the opportunity because you have been involved in so many of these activities. And what I like to say is it allows me now to be able to pivot and make a shift and allow others to come on in leadership positions. You've certainly been involved with so many of the organizations, and now I get to kind of be your right hand for a minute, and that excites me. Oh. And I love being able to be there and to collaborate with you, but doing what I do best, and that's working with the majority businesses in our community and letting them know, hey, simply put, we need your help, and we need you to write that check. I was talking to one of our potential sponsors today, and we want to hear more about this committee. So I'm hoping you'll name who are some of the bright minds that we are working with. And I was talking to one of the major business partners today, and they're very, very interested in being one of our sponsors. And when I told her what was going on and who was there, the response was, oh, we got to help this girl. That's our girl. And so I love that when you work with other organizations and they have seen your blueprint and are just willing to sign on and be a part of something as important as the Black Wall Street Experience. Now, the Black Wall Street Experience, the name was actually created by that group CEO, Derrick. Mm-hmm. And he didn't just want it to be about the Black Wall Street that was originally in its history that was from Tulsa, Oklahoma. The important thing is, one of the reasons we're celebrating it now is a very pivotal date on the calendar, but I'll let you talk a little bit about what is it in the Black Wall Street that we want to brand and bring awareness to in our local community, and as well, who are some of the phenomenal people that you have not mentioned their names that will be working alongside you to make this 3-day event a phenomenal community, free to the community event. Ms. Young?
Yes, ma'am. And so we have several committee members, as I've said, Kay Brown, who has been just a great asset in our marketing, along with Miss Ashley, and I'm Ashley Taylor, I believe is Ashley's last name. And please forgive me, y'all charge it to my head and not my heart. We say that, man, we mean that. And also we have a great technology team, Mr. Denny Brave and also Mr. Jermaine Brown. And these gentlemen are working along with Frank Crum, who has been absolutely phenomenal in all areas of working with the group. And we've also been fortunate to have as part of as lead over our hospitality, Miss Renee Coproff. Yes. And so Renee has joined us and just came full force. And of course, your queenship here, Miss Cheryl Cousseau, who is working so diligently with our sponsorship subcommittee. And I'm hoping and then of course, along with those on the THAP campus, Miss Georgia Kinsey, who is working very diligently with us, and the THAP group board of directors who have come on board to help in every way that they can. And so again, if I forgot a name, please charge it to my head and not my heart. But know that I am so greatly appreciative to all of you for everything you're doing, because you have been so supportive to me, as well as just nobody's just doing their little part and it's just, well, I'm going to do this. And then, this is my part. So I'm just doing this. But people have checked in, people have given advice, people have just given their positive energy. And that has been so great to me in this position of being chair for this event. So I am thankful to everyone who's been a part of it.
I think the only two names I would probably add, Michaelia Coffey and Denny Brave. but you do
Yes.
have a
I
powerhouse.
did add Jenny, you're right. And
Okay,
Mikhail,
you do
please
have
forgive me.
a
Yes.
powerhouse group. Well, tell us, and I know you're going to go in detail about we call it BWE, the Black Wall Street Experience, but you mentioned that we know that Derrick Blue is the CEO of the THAP group. You mentioned Frank Crum as the chair, the board of directors chair, but who are some of the other members other than yourself that's serving on the THAP group board of directors?
So our second chair is Attorney Norman Harris. And then we also have Dr. Teresa Lewis.
Yes.
And Mrs. Gilchrist,
Yes.
Johnson Gilchrist, and another new member who joined at the same time as me is Miss Robin Lockett.
All right. Again, a great
It's a
group.
phenomenal board. Yeah, it's a great
And
group
people who are well known in the community and movers and shakers and that are there to help promote and push THAP's agenda forward. So BWE, do you often find now that you're the chair of BWE, do you get those acronyms mixed up? Because I know I do. I have to catch myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Particularly with BWBOEE, and sometimes I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's not what I'm talking about. It's BWE that I'm talking about. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
But let's do this. Let's just first talk about the organization, when it's going to be and where it's going to be. And then we'll come back after our commercial break and delve into what it's really all about. Okay,
so our dates are set for October the 8th through the 10th. And again, this will be not on the same level as it was pre-COVID. And so we've had to scale down some things, but the entire event will take place on the THAP campus at 5508 North 50th Street. And we have one possible event that may not be on campus, and we've not come to that quite yet. It's to be determined, and that's a movie night. But aside from that, everything else, all of our sessions and our Small Business Expo, everything will be held on the THAP campus. And again, starting on October the 8th, which is a Friday at 6:00 p.m., we will be right there. And we hope that the community and all organizations will be there, and businesses will be there to help support.
Okay, so Friday night, is that more like a meet and greet or reception that's kicking off the 3-day weekend event?
It is part meet and greet. We will start Friday night talking about our own Black Wall Street right here in Tampa, Central Avenue, and with Mr. Fred Hearns, who is a great historian here, and as well as talking about the Deuces over in St. Pete. And so we've got our own local Black Wall Streets that we really want to have a chance to talk about. We've got some people who remember and were here during those times, so they're wanting to be there just to add what they know. I've already talked to several people who are like, well, I need to be there. And I'm like, you do need to be there. If you were here during the times in their heyday, I would say, then you should be here to share your experiences as we talk about those. And then after we've had a session about those our local Black Wall Streets, and then we will have that meet and greet time to refresh ourselves, to talk about what's going on and to get ready to kick off Saturday. Oh,
I am so excited about that. Fred Hearn is Tampa Bay's own historian.
Absolutely.
And nobody can take you back in a particular era of time like he can. He is so knowledgeable. And I mean, that information is just right on his fingertips. And he's able to just draw you into what it was like. And I remember Central Avenue. I remember the stores going down Central Avenue. So I'm so excited. Matter of fact, my first hairdresser, God bless her heart, the late Catherine Farragut, had her shop on Central Avenue as well as others. So it's going to be exciting hearing about that. We're going to go ahead and pause. We will be back after the break. So stay tuned. Back in a moment.
Playing your favorite old school. touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
Cancer affects everyone, but minority populations are often hit hardest. Moffitt Cancer Center is working to address the barriers that keep some groups from getting the care they need. African Americans develop cancer at a younger age, have more aggressive cancers, and experience worse outcomes than the general population.
While cancer treatment is evolving with precision medicine, who is being left behind? We know for many decades that some groups experience a greater burden of cancer than others. We can prevent it, we can detect it early. It's very beatable when we find it early. I have worked with cancer patients during their treatment. All cancer patients have courage.
So my treatment was about 18 months. I had 3 cancers and 7 surgeries. But my son told me, like, Mom, you're the strongest person that I know. Moffitt saved my life.
During COVID-19, Moffitt is a safe place for your cancer care. Call now to schedule an appointment.
When it comes to reality radio, everyone is a star.
I know that's right.
On your smooth soul and R&B station. On the World Wide Web.
Access granted.
In Touch Radio.
And we are back. Welcome back to Let's Talk Business with SJC. And my co-host is sitting in his stead. Mr. Derrick Blue is the chair for the Black Wall Street experience that's coming down the pipeline. We're early in yet. We've got about 7+ weeks before we get to go live with this event. Ms. Daniels Young, so you're coming on board January 2021. You're now the chair of the event. Here's some pivotal dates. You were part of the original Black Wall Street experience in 2019. And now we get to share more about Greenwood because it is the centennial anniversary of what was one of the worst attacks on an isolated all Black business community that thrived with their own hotels and hospitals and businesses and movie theaters. It was a dream city community for us as individuals, as Black Americans, for us as Black entrepreneurs. So take us or chat with us a little bit about the importance of us doing something this year to celebrate the commemoration of 100 years.
So, again, as you said, the race riots, the race massacre that took place 100 years ago in the month of May in Greenwood, Oklahoma, was not unlike what has happened in many other thriving, affluent
Correct.
Black Wall Street districts, you know, and we have our even here in Florida, people will remember Rosewood, Florida.
Yes.
The same type of incident happened. And then, so there are other communities even throughout the United States that have existed. So this being the centennial commemoration, because we won't forget, even, and for those that may not be aware, then make yourselves aware most certainly. And I say that because I have talked to people or encountered people when I mention Greenwood, Oklahoma, they either don't know what I'm talking about, or they say they remember having heard something about that before, but may not exactly know what happened. So educate yourself on Greenwood, Oklahoma, as well as Rosewood, Florida, just here in our own state. And then look up your own Central Avenue here in Tampa to know about those districts and those thriving communities of businesses, as Cheryl said, self-serving businesses and communities and building homes and families. And so we don't ever want to forget that. We need to build to work harder on building our families and building our homes and building our communities to support each other, not to cancel out anybody else or to make light of anybody else's, but we have our own communities that are, if I can say, fabulous in their own right. And so we have to learn to build that up and to support those efforts. And that's what the Black Wall Street is about for me. And again, I worked with the first experience, I'll say, here in 2019, more so on the back end. So it's a little different for me on this end, being in the forefront and chairing the event. But it is extremely important to me to express to the community how we do need to come together, because again, first of all, we need to learn where we've come from. And sometimes you need to know where you've been in an effort to know where you're going. Absolutely. And so I think that this effort and some of the sessions that we have will help us learn. There are also sessions that are going to be available coming starting on that Saturday about building generational wealth. That's so important. And that's something we need to focus on as we are building our children and our grandchildren and trying to put something in place for them. Let's talk about generational wealth. Let's talk about how that looks and what we can do. Even, everybody doesn't have to be rich in an effort to build wealth or to leave wealth. So we need to learn how to do that where you are. But know that you are, wherever you are, you can do something. So you should be a part of that. We'll also talk about financial planning for individuals as well as financial planning for small businesses. And that's very important so that you can thrive and so that as a small business, you can survive something like this COVID that has come along. And so we'll have other sessions, environmental activism and code switching, I think it's called. And so there's a lot to be done. The sessions will be small. Okay. And the plan is to be able to have some people who can be available to go inside of one of the suites there at 5508 to listen to and to ask questions and talk with presenters that we have. And we've got some great expert presenters that will be a part of these sessions, that will facilitate these sessions. But the information will also be broadcast so that those that are on the campus, perhaps participating with the Small Business Expo, you as well will be able to hear what's going on. If you've got a question, by all means, step to the door and, you just be able, it would be interactive for everybody on campus, whether you are in the room or if you are outside, just sponsoring and being a part of the whole vendor expo as well. So there's a lot going on, but it's all positive. It's all an effort to support each other and to know who you are. For those that are interested in vending, definitely go to thapgroup.org, thapgroup.org. And there's and you'll see under events where you can become a vendor and let people know who you are. Let people know that you're here. It's particularly the newer businesses, and then even some of the more established businesses who people might not know if you stayed in business or you left during COVID and came back, or you got to let people know you're there. So Absolutely. by all means, go to thapgroup.org and become a vendor. It's $55. It's a great investment for you to be able to let your community know that you're here and that and allow us the opportunity to support you. So that the support, I would say, is just a great word. It's a simple word, but it's profound in its simplicity, I would say, because that's what we want to do. Support each other, support our families, support these organizations, support these small businesses, support the THAP group and all that they're doing. So, and while you're on thapgroup.org, check out what THAP group does. Check out the programs that they facilitate. Yeah. And I'd say support. Support each other.
Those resources are there.
To do that.
And support is the key word. One of the other things, and this is where the community gets to come in, we have the spacing for several hundred community members to come out as patrons, and we have the spacing on the courtyard to be able to house over 40 invited vendors. We're looking for 4 or 5 food truck vendors to come out and help us to be a vendor. As Ingrid says, that dollar amount was actually attached to our address, 5508 co-working space. So the fee for a business to come and vend is $55. If they're going to come and sell food, or they have a food truck or the big trailers, then that cost is $200. And we have more spacing available for them. The best part, as a patron, a spectator, a supporter coming to help us, is the Black Wall Street experience is free for all patrons. And that expo is going to be held on the 5508 courtyard. And if Derrick was here, he would invite you to come to their Wakanda. And in doing so, where we grow Vibranium, but you can bring your own so that we can support your business as well. We have over 40 businesses on the campus of 5508. And I am so pleased this year, yes, to be working to support you and work with the major corporations and the sponsors, but I'm extremely proud that DSI Black Pages gets to serve as one of the sponsors for the Business Expo. But then we've got the primary sponsor who is on board for all 3 events, the person, the organization that's making it possible for you and I to be here today talking about what's happening. Would you like to tell us a little bit about our key signature title sponsor, Ms. Young?
Well, yes. And what I can say, first of all, we greatly appreciate and we're thankful for this sponsor, and that is Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, yes, has been great to the THAP group. They have always been supportive, and to me that speaks volumes, because that means that they believe in what we're doing.
Yes.
They know that they're sowing into good ground, and so they've been here and they're still here. What else can we do? Tell me what else you need. And so when you have a sponsor like that who comes up every time and you don't have to ask them twice, then we know that we're doing something good, because it's Wells Fargo. It's not some small place that you've never heard of or don't know of. It's a major banking corporation. Everybody knows Wells Fargo. And so we appreciate them being great sponsors for the Black Wall Street Experience. They were also here again in 2019, and any other events that have happened on the THAP campus. We have been able to depend on Wells Fargo to be supportive of what we have going on. So I'm really grateful on behalf of the Black Wall Street Experience and the THAP Group Board of Directors.
Thank you. And we can go ahead and share that our very own Wells Fargo VP of Community Relations, Michelle Mayer, will be joining us on a show to specifically talk to us as to why Wells Fargo decided they wanted to support financially the inaugural event of the Black Wall Street Experience, knowing that things have changed. We kind of talked about doing a virtual hybrid group and seeing how we could combine that plus the site venue event. And we've been working months trying to figure out how to do this and bring it all together. She will be joining us this month to talk about their involvement and to talk about what Wells Fargo can do for small businesses. So you don't want to miss that show. We will certainly let you know beforehand. We're looking at a couple of dates now that we're going to solidify today. So I'm super excited about that. And you'll get to hear from maybe another of THAP's board of directors. I know Derrick Blue is looking forward to coming back to talk about his vision and making that plea and appeal. If you are listening to this particular broadcast today, we ask that you share, like first, but share this particular show. And if you are working with a majority corporation, and I know you're on your lunch break today, so you can't say who you are, and you want your company to be involved, and you want your company to come and be a part of this, where we get to showcase their products, their services, bring brand awareness to whatever that organization and or firm company is. This is going to be a huge event, and we need the support from majority corporations. We need the support from our small Black-owned and women-owned minority businesses.
Yes.
And more importantly, we need the support of you, the individual. And for that, as the buzzword begins, it's exciting, Ingrid. I'm just so excited. My office is on the campus of 5508. I've been there for years. And so y'all coming to our house.
Yes.
And that makes it super, super special. So as we begin to look a little more closely, we've got a Friday night event, a meet and greet. Then we're going to hear from some phenomenal historians talking about our own Black Wall Street, Central Avenue, the Deuces in St. Pete. And that's just kind of like for us to just get warmed up. And then they come back on Saturday, and that's the 9th in the courtyard, 40 plus, and then you've got multiple, 30 plus, actually it's over 40 businesses that are collaborators on the campus. And we pray that all their businesses will be open. Listen, you'll be able to shop till you drop or get information about the businesses and learn how you can support. So bring your money, bring your checkbooks, bring your credit card, do some swiping, and invest back into our own community. That's going to be happening from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Then we get a little break, and then we get to come back. Location to be announced, but plan B is we will be on the campus with our Saturday night movie night, right, Ingrid?
Yes, that is correct. We are looking to host just a family movie night. Our movie needs to, or we would like for it to stay kind of business focused, but at the same time, we want to be able just to have a good time and still have an uplifting time. That's probably what I'm trying to say. Have an uplifting type of movie that will encourage us to go beyond that weekend in support of our Black businesses, in support of our Black Wall Street. And let me just say this, it is my goal to establish where we are at 5508 as a Black Wall Street district. Yes. And that's doable. That's something that can be done. And so I'd love to see us reestablish here in our own city a Black Wall Street district that we build up and again support each other, and we're self-sufficient, and once again we're not taking away from anybody else or anything else that is established or to be established. But if we have enough people who know how to do, who can develop, whatever it is, and we have all of that talent within our own communities, then why not build something that we proudly call ours?
That we proudly call ours. And I like that because this is our show. Let's Talk Business with SJC and Derrick Blue is housed out of In Touch News and Radio, which is on the campus of 5508. And for us to be able to come together and do this, so you've got In Touch News also partnering with us to put on the Black Wall Street Experience is MetCore. And MetCore has an event that's going to be coming up at the end of the month. They were planning it last month, and due to a number of reasons, are moving it to the end of the month. And maybe you can share just a little bit about that, but I know we're going to have a representative to come on and talk to us more about that. Morris Martin of Next Level Event will be here to help us, especially if the movie night comes back to a drive-in on the campus of 5508. So thank you to both of those organizations in conjunction with DSI Black Pages and our title sponsor, Wells Fargo. And I'm so excited because more are being added to the list even as we speak.
Awesome.
Anything that you would like to add as we prepare to wrap up? We've got some announcements that we're going to make and bring awareness to some other activities going on in the Tampa Bay area.
So
Michelle?
yeah, just real quickly, again, thank you so much, Cheryl, for having me. And I appreciate the opportunity to talk about all of the organizations that I've been fortunate to be a part of and to work with. And so certainly check us out. Don't forget bwboee.org or look us up on Facebook and find out what's going on. And definitely don't forget BWE, the Black Wall Street Experience. Put that in your mindset for October the 8th through the 10th. We'd love for you to share that weekend with us. Again, it's ours. So we want for you to be there, and we want for you to support those speakers and those businesses that will be there. And even on that Saturday morning, the young people are having a yoga experience at 10 a.m. So I'm going to try to get in on that as the best I can. But and there's also a podcast, a live podcast that will be going on. So there will be many things going on, and it is past time that we just support each other, that we are diligent, and that we stick together and build each other. So I hope to see all of you at the Black Wall Street Experience. Go to thatgroup.org if you are interested in vending. And just to get more information, look for us on Facebook Live, or on Facebook for the flyers that will be coming out with other pertinent information. And just get ready to have a great experience.
All right, just like we say at the beginning of our show, get ready, get ready. Being that I get to support you guys from the sponsorship perspective, let me share a little bit. Ingrid, stay on, but let me share a little bit about the Black Wall Street Experience sponsorship. We have what's called, get this, if you want to be the centennial sponsor and remember Greenwood as your sponsorship, we have that capability. And with that sponsorship comes everything you can imagine. And in addition to that, all of this information is on the FAP Group's website. We have, and this may speak to you, depending upon what your business and or organization is, the economic stability sponsor. And that one is being able to teach business excellence. And a lot comes with that sponsorship as well. The next level is the Central Avenue sponsor. If you remember businesses or you were a part of that, or somehow you are affiliated with that, then help us remember what Tampa's own look like, or better yet, if your business doing okay, just come on and sponsor the Central Avenue piece of this sponsorship packet, because there's so much that's going on. And whatever package you decide to participate in, when you come back to the campus of 5508, there will be your signature stamp there where we will all be able to remember what you did. And then we have the economic empowerment sponsor. And that one will be teaching our business owners what it means to do what it is that you do. Teach a man how to fish, so he will be able to sustain himself after that. So we have that sponsorship. And if those don't resonate or speak to you, maybe we've got one that comes down to your level, and that's the business impact sponsor. And I'll go ahead and tell you, that one is called Making a Difference. And the check that you will be writing is $500. So they range from $500 and go all the way up to our signature sponsorship of $7,000. So housed in between is a level that can meet your budget. And then don't forget, vendor. Miss K, if you're listening, holler at us because we certainly want to see K's Kitchen come back to the spot where K's Kitchen originated, in a small food truck on the corner on the campus of 5508 and right on Hillsborough Avenue. She has a storefront now, so congratulations. But we'd love to have her come back. So just a little bit about how you can support this financially. And listen, if sponsorship is not what you're all about, make a donation. We welcome your donations, and you can certainly participate in that. STAMP has in its main conference room a tree of giving. That's something that you can donate to. That's very, very affordable. The leaves on that begin at $100. And then we have our brick party. So there's so many ways that you can benefit the Black Wall Street experience. And let's make this one of the best ever and support Ms. Ingrid Daniels Young as she chairs the Black Wall Street experience. Now, last week we had so much to cover because it was our medical show that there were a couple of birthdays we wanted to shout out. And also this month, the month of September, is National Suicide Prevention Month. And we're going to share with you in our thank you post some phenomenal statistics that we need to pay attention to. And now, as a result of this, kind of not post-COVID just yet, you've heard so much about our mental health. People just not being able to cope. We want to be able to share those resources with you. So remember, National Suicide Prevention Month. And as you're going through the month, look at the beautiful colors of purple and the tealish color green. Think about wearing those colors in support of, and remember, your voice matters. Your voice matters, but your lives matter more. So think about doing that. But some of our birthday shout outs that we missed, a part of the show, a part of Cuso and Associates, a part of DSI Black Pages, was Sandra. Sandra shared her birthday on last week of our show, and we wanted to be able to say happy birthday to Sandra. William was my brother who shared a birthday as well. Happy birthday to you, William. Today, celebrating a birthday is Heidi. Heidi, we congratulate you on your birthday. I wonder what that pink and green means. So happy birthday, Miss AKA Star. And remember, October 8th, 9th, and 10th, the Black Wall Street experience. Ingrid has made it perfectly clear to us that it is important for us to show up. It is important for us to show our support. It is important for us, well, I make that one important to you, to write a check, be it a donation or to support the business owners that will be there so that we can all do what, Ingrid? Come up.
Come up. When we all come up, we all come up. When we all come up, we all come up.
So let's all come up as we prepare to leave the show. We thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for catching the show. That's all up in your Blueprint business. This show is a wrap.